These papers must reach the public as fast as the press can print them, because they carry the most perishable of all commodities, news. The rural circulation manager and the circulation manager check rural delivery routes to be sure that while facilities are available, your newspaper reaches you regardless of where you live. The bundles of newspapers are then taken by truck to rural distribution points, where they're put into private cars. And now, they're on the last lap of a fast trip to readers everywhere. Day and night, the production of your newspaper moves with precision and smoothness. Your paper is the finished product of skilled hands and minds. In that respect, it is like any other business. But when disaster strikes, the newspaper men meet the test, which shows their fitness to hold their jobs. The second alarm of fire is always news. That second alarm means a newly started blaze is out of control. It may be threatening to destroy a great business enterprise, an historic landmark, a hotel, or a college. But this time, a large manufacturing plant threatens to go up in flames, throwing hundreds of employees out of work, destroying property and endangering lives. Engines are rushed to the scene. The second alarm has brought out a major portion of Richmond's firefighting equipment. Every man has a part to play, just as in the newspaper business when disaster strikes. The city desk gets the call. Quickly, the city editor assigns reporters. The story would not be complete without pictures, so photographers are given their orders. But the clock shows 51 minutes before the deadline. 51 minutes to get the story and the pictures and put them through the entire complicated process of publication. The airport is instructed to warm a plane so the camera may catch the blazing inferno from a revealing angle. The photographer rushes to the airport as quickly as a press car can carry him. And as the plane roars into the air, the building is rent asunder by giant flames to provide a thrilling camera subject. All the while, on the ground, reporters are getting the story. Photographers and reporters often risk their very lives in order that they may get a close-up of one breathless moment. Now, the story begins to take shape in the city room. As seen through the reporter's eyes, it pours back in a running stream of facts, figures, and color. The rewrite man assembles the facts. This is no time for the reporter to write his own story, although he has covered it from every angle, getting his facts from official sources as well as from his own observations. fire chief is always a good news source. But someone has been injured and has been rushed to a hospital. The reporter cannot get that news story at the fire, so another reporter and photographer are on the scene at the hospital entrance when the ambulance arrives. Quick work on the part of the photographer gets his close-up of the victim as the stretcher is rushed past. Name and address, please. How badly injured? The reporter gets the facts as they've been taken down by a nurse and intern. Only a few minutes to go now, but there are still many details about the wrecked building which must be checked. The reference department swings into action. An office boy brings a request from the city desk. Check the history of the factory. The story is now in the office. Because of his training and quick instincts, often the reporter writes his best under the pressure of the deadline. The photographers are beginning to return with their pictures, the graphic pictorial record of what actually happened. Only the best negatives can be used, for time is valuable and there isn't much of it left. Because of their modern equipment, photographers of the Richmond newspapers are able quickly to present a selection to the picture editor. The wet prints give an idea of the disaster at its height. The finished prints are rushed to a conveyor and then to the picture editor, where they're marked as to size, and returned to the art department, where they take preference over all other copy. And soon the engraver gets the pictures. In the news department, the city editor throws over to the copy desk the last written line of the story. The deadline has been made, right on the nose. Meanwhile, the men and the machines up in the composing room have kept pace with the men downstairs. Now every minute counts. The type is quickly set. The proofs are read. The galleys of type are placed in the forms. The stereotypes are cast. Quickly, they go on their way to the press room. And finally, there is the familiar "let 'em roll." While the fire is still blazing, the mighty presses turn at 660 papers a minute. The roar of the presses is translated into the complete story of the fire less than an hour after the second alarm was sounded. This doesn't happen every day, but if it did, the Richmond newspapers would meet their deadlines just the same. The Richmond Times Dispatch and the Richmond News Leader are family newspapers. They bring you not only the tragic news of war and the world today, but also a wide selection of news and local features. There is something to interest every reader. Every member of the family can find information, entertainment, and inspiration in the pages of these two great daily newspapers. They are a living, growing part of Virginia and America. Today's news is tomorrow's history.